What it do? Dream Team, it's your boy Neal back with another reaction video, guys. Here we are with you're Australian when. Before we dive in, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, ring notification bell, get a video a thumbs up so it gets suggested. Social media, Patreon, all up top. You can subscribe to any of it. Put all the links in the description. All you got to do is hit the link, follow me, talk to me, shoot me. I talk back. You guys got a favorite video suggestion, you can subscribe to Patreon or drop them in the comment section. What we got?
Hey, so one of you said that was dangerous, sent me an Instagram account called You Know You're Australian When, and typically these videos are kind of like the bane of my existence at this point, but you guys frost them, so here we are. It's basically an Instagram account that, like, honestly, if you couldn't work it out by the name, you're gonna have some trouble in life, but it's full of posts that are like super relevant to growing up in Australia. It's also relevant to the rest of the world to some degree, I would imagine. If you don't follow this account, honestly, don't even worry about it, but go follow me on Instagram at Brienneworth. You know you're Australian when this is the only six-pack you'll ever have, and honestly, where is the lie? Did they use this bag to beat someone up? Why are they so disheveled? These hot cross buns are in terrible shape. Would still eat them though, obviously. You know you're Australian when you shopped at this store as a child. Good old pumpkin patch. I don't know if they had it at your pumpkin patch, but at ours they had like this whole area that was just basically like a playground, so your mum could walk around and get you some nice pumpkin themed outfits, I don't know. You could go in there and play with your blocks or with PS2, whatever it is that they had. Stoked whenever mum was like, let's go to pumpkin patch.
Shout out Pumpkin Patch, that's smart. That's smart for a store to have.
PS2, whatever it is that they had. Like stoked whenever mum was like, let's go to pumpkin patch. I was like, hell yeah. Bae, can you take me to the restaurant where they make the food in front of you? Look, I love teppanyaki, but I would take a Bunnings snag over that any day. Quite a lot of you asked me to talk about the fact that they're now putting onions underneath the sausage on the sausage sizzles. No. I don't really give a shit. So, I don't have onions on my sausage sizzle. I just think I don't like it. Sorry to disappoint. I'm sure you were expecting some very useful commentary on the onion situation. But you know you're Australian when hungry.
No, we don't. Onions are a no-go. Onions are always a no-go, guys. They're always a no-go.
Expecting some very useful commentary on the onion situation. But you know you're Australian when Hungry Jack's is actually way better than Macca's, but everyone refuses to believe it, but it's still true. Don't fight me on this. I partially agree on that. On one hand, the burgers are literally better at Hungry Jack's, and that's not even an argument that can be had. On the other hand, literally nothing else is better at Hungry Jack's. The Coke is somehow better at Macca's. The chips are better at Macca's. That's like hands down. The nuggets,
facts.
Like, do I even have to finish the sentence? The nuggets are obviously better at Macca's. Is a nuggie if it's not a McNuggie, is my question. I think Confucius said that. Big side note, I'm reading this book called Principles by Ray Dalio. Really good book, would recommend. Ray Dalio is basically like a hedge fund investor, billionaire, owns Bridgewater, very successful man in general. And there's a whole page that I think I've posted on my Twitter. He is basically the reason that the McNugget got released, which is insane. McDonald's and like the chicken suppliers were having pricing issues and they couldn't find a fixed price, and Ray Dalio basically found a solution to that, and that's why we have McNuggets. So you're welcome on behalf of Ray. You know you're Australian when you've seen at least one season of this. I will skin myself with a fork before I watch a season of that. How would I go about skinning myself with a fork? We don't know. I haven't thought it through, but I'm not Australian.
I'm a celebrity, get me out of here. I want to see it now. Is there good clips from that on YouTube? Y'all let me know in the comments section.
Skinning myself with a fork? We don't know. I haven't thought it through, but I'm not Australian then. Yeah, not a fan. So I just got so wigged out then. I saw this light, on the camera, and I was like, what the f is that? My salt lamp reflecting from like meters away. That's really weird. The Wiggles fruit salad, 4-year-old me, yummy yummy. I actually have a much better meme for this. Sorry to take over your page, but it's a much better meme. Feel free to use it.
Wait, what does it say?
Meme for this. Sorry to take over your page, but
fruit salad, and I cannot stress this enough. Yummy, yummy.
It's a much better meme. Feel free to use it. It's not mine. Can you hear those birds? Shut up! I don't think they speak English. This one is like firing off some neurons that have not been connected since 2001. What the fuck? Do you remember these? Did you have these in primary school? I think everyone did.
I did. Yes.
How I'm sleeping tonight, not a word of a lie. Last night I slept with a wet washer on my face because it was that hot. Just disgustingly hot. Warrants the angry hands or the Italian hands, we don't know yet. I have this creaky ass fan going 24/7. I got another one over there. Doors open because I would rather a snake get in than have to be that hot, and I still had to have a wet washer. Quite frankly, did not ask, and I'm sick of it. My brain, if you press it more times, it doesn't make the lights turn quicker. Me presses it 50 times anyway. A lot of these bad boys just don't do anything. They're just there for I don't know what reason. Some weird psychological satisfaction. And I also don't like how dirty they probably are. Like, you have no idea who's touched that and what they've been touching. Point. So I will not press it 50 times anyway, but I will stick my leg up and just like do one of those with my foot couple of times. Oh, this one doesn't even have a caption. It truly does not need one. Every week in high school especially, we had to bring our chairs down to the bird cage, which is like everyone has a bird cage. I don't know if you called it a bird cage. The big cage or room thing that you had assemblies or sports in at school. We had to carry our chairs down to the bird cage, listen to someone waffle on about something for friggin' an hour, and then carry them up every damn week. Do not miss that at all. This and that.
Really? that's so you had to carry your chairs down to wherever, I guess we call it like an assembly, or you got a guest speaker speak, but we just have it like in a gym where there's already seats, or we go to the auditorium where there's already seats. We never carried our chairs That's very interesting. I've
for friggin' an hour and then carry them up every damn week. Do not miss that at all. This anatomy of a Zupa Duper is scarily accurate. Evil plastic edge will cut your mouth, will always cut.
What is a Zuper Duper? Delicious bit that turns your tongue blue. Broken section to hold so your fingers don't freeze off. More for later. The juice, sweet elixir of life, and the best part. Little cut off bit your mom finds on the floor.
Your mouth no matter what you do. In my 23 years on this planet, I've never figured out a solution to this. I don't really eat that many Zupa Dupers though, so I don't know, maybe there's a... Also, why would you call it a Zupa Duper? Just having a quick little think there. Why on earth would you call it a Zupa Duper? Just the whole marketing department's had a joint and just sat there and we're like, well, it rhymes. Delicious bit that turns your tongue blue, correct? Broken section so you don't freeze your fingers off. More for later. The juice. I hate the juice. Some people love the juice. Nah. Not a fan. Little cut off bit your mum finds on the floor. Yeah. I'd say a good 70% of all the litter floating around in our reefs are that little cut off bit at the end. Oh, I can feel this image. Getting branded by your seatbelt is a rite of passage for one. But a rite of passage that just has no discernible benefit whatsoever. There's nothing you can do about it. You can't really cool the seatbelt down. It's just you gotta grab the plastic bit and awkwardly like try not to touch the metal. So I used to be scared of the dark for a long time.
Show it again.
Try not to touch the metal. So I used to be scared of the dark for a long time. Like up until, I don't know, high school sometime, I slept with a nightlight. And obviously being scared of the dark is not logical. A lot of things people are scared of are just not logical. Most fears are irrational, and that's exactly how we all arrived at this theory. Because honestly, if there was a demon in your room ready to drag you to hell, I'm sure a blanket wouldn't be the thing that stops him. If I was a demon, I would not respect the blanket rule. Does he bite? No, but he can hurt you in other ways. Fairy bread on wholemeal bread. No. Absolutely not. No. Moving on. That was terrible. Coincidence? I think not, because that would insinuate that original is somehow better than salt and vinegar. Bullshit. Cheese and onion is not a no. In no world is cheese and onion the $50 note. If we're going by value that way. I think there is an argument for chicken being the $100 note. I'll give them that. Salt and vinegar is not the worst of the flavors. That's no way. Honestly, if I had it my way, it would be $100 note, salt and vinegar, $50 note chicken, $20 note, probably original because I'm a boring bitch sometimes. $10 note barbecue, $5 note cheese and bacon. Do not at me.
Barbecue, $10 note? That's disrespectful. That's disrespectful. I don't know these chips, but to put barbecue at 10.
Boring bitch sometimes. $10 note barbecue, $5 note cheese and bacon. Do not at me. Oh my god, I remember these and I could make a mean gun out of texters. Also, am I the only person whose favourite colour combination was that nice blue texter and the brown one? I was obsessed. I would make everything blue and brown, which is weird because a lot of my room now is neutrals and blue. Even those photos. Oh, damn it. IGA is the Red Rooster of supermarkets. Now, usually I don't knock independent anything, but that is so true. You know you're Australian when weather goes from 0 to 100 real quick. Yeah, 100%. The other day, we were at the beach the other day. It didn't feel too hot, and I was like, this is weird. It's the middle of summer pretty much. So I went to check the UV index rating, and it was something like 14.4, and then I wondered, what does that mean? So I checked the UV index scale, and it goes from like 1 to just 11 plus, like a vague 11 plus. Anything above 11 is really extreme. You will get burnt, damaged to hell. I don't know. I guess I did get a little bit more brown than usual, but then I looked up the UV rating for my hometown, which is up near Cairns, and their UV index rating was like a 16 or 17, which is comical considering it was thunderstorming at the time. So yeah, half of the country is underwater currently. There's massive floods up north. Half the country is on fire. So this one is a little bit too real. You know, you're Australian when it's 36 degrees out, and rushing to the canteen for an icy pole is a sport and should be considered so in the Olympics, quite frankly. In high school, every Friday we had Pie Day Friday because it rhymed and it was perfect. And my whole day was basically scheduled around the mission of getting to the tuck shop and getting in line before some other bastard did. And it was competitive. Like every person from every corner of the school had their books ready to go, sitting at the desk, ready to just dash out and sprint to the tuck shop. You'd be running down the hallway, just elbowing bitches left, right, and center to get to the pies. And they were such good pies. They were so good. And it was basically like a victory pie, if anything. One time, I think I literally pushed my friend into a garden bed so that she didn't get the last pie and I had it. Which to this day, I don't regret because it was a beautiful, beautiful pie. And now I'm just thinking about pies. I'm very distracted from this video.
I had in these moments it was to the cafeteria at school, man. It was an all out because you only get so much time to eat. I think it was like when I was in school, it was like 35 minutes, bro. And if you're like one of the last, if you're in that middle to last section, you gotta wait in line for so long before you can get food that once you get your food, you have to scarf it down so fast. And so it was a sprint to the cafeteria every day. And you best believe kids, I'm telling you, kids are leaving before the bell rings to be released to the cafeteria. They're leaving before the bell rings, so they already got a head start. I usually had gym before I went to the cafeteria or athletics, and I'm just standing at the door like ready to pop it open and sprint. The whole team is. So I understood when she's talking about running for these meat pies.
Beautiful pie. And now I'm just thinking about pies. I'm very distracted from this video. A very Australian story indeed. Do you ever just give up and use 4G in your own house? When something takes longer than 10 seconds to load, which it frequently does, I'll just switch off the Wi-Fi. Honestly, it's not worth it. I will pay the extra money for phone data. I don't like waiting. Not a big fan. But also, do you ever think about how much more productive the country would be and the economy as a whole would be if we just had faster internet? Everything runs on the internet, so when that's faster, it's more productivity, more money, better economy. Truly, why are we so bad at having good internet? You know you're Australian when it took the this is literally my whole childhood. When these took blood, sweat and tears to open these things. Yeah.
Really?
Big mood. A big fat with a PH and large mood, because these are so difficult to open and I will never understand why. And they're quite frankly no better than the other ones that have the lollipop and you have to like rip the plastic off, and half the time it rips the lollipop off. Has someone not designed something better yet? Like, can you not engineer a lollipop? Imagine going to an engineering conference and you've got people building spaceships and bridges and buildings, and then you're a lollipop engineer. It's the remix to Ignition, hot and spicy McChicken. Mama said we ain't stopping because we got food in the kitchen. I would try my luck pretty much every day after school to see if Mum would take us to Macca's, and it was usually a no because we've got food at home. And only now as an adult do I understand why that makes sense. Because as a kid, I'm like, yeah, we have food at home, but the food at Macca's is better. Perfectly logical, says the 8-year-old. Yeah, it's not. The Aussie pay.
That one is definitely, as an American, I can relate to that one as well. I love that this remix to Ignition, hot and spicy McChicken. Mama said we ain't stopping, we got food in the kitchen. Yeah, I went through that.
But the food at Macca's is better. Perfectly logical, says the 8-year-old. Yeah, it's not. The Aussie payday kit. Honestly, I can only relate to the fuel section of this. I feel like this is specifically the tradies payday kit. Oh my god. Oh my god. That's a friggin' throwback and a half. Who remembers this bastard? Unfortunately, I do. And looking at it now, he is kind of the thing of nightmares. What was it? Jup Jup? Is this Jup Jup? Or is it Chup Chup? I don't know, but he was a bit of a lad. You know you're Australian when every kid in school had one of these in their lunchbox. I was never allowed to eat these. Very rarely, like really rarely, I was allowed to have one. But mum was like, no, there's too much sugar in them. And there truly is too much fucking sugar in them. My battery died. That was probably my cue to leave, but there are some bangers in here. Who remembers in primary school when the teachers told you the story of the boy who swung back on his chair and cracked his head open and died? I don't believe there was a single person that has ever happened to, but did I believe it at the time? Of course. You know you're Australian when you can't actually describe what fair dinkum is because it just means fair dinkum. Fair dinkum. What does fair dinkum mean, like definition-wise? Do we know? Does anyone know? Or is it just like contextual? You know you're Australian when this is how you would get around a shopping centre back in the day. That is so true. You'd also get in...
Not the Heelys. Not the Heelys. Some of these are very American and as well as Australian, bro. I remember you was cool. You was cool if you had the Heelys back in the day. You was one of the cool kids rolling around, bro.
Australian when this is how you would get around a shopping centre back in the day. That is so true. You'd also get in trouble in the shopping centre like that back in the day. Also, my little brothers used to roll around on these all the time and I used to get so jealous because they don't make adult Heelys, or if they do, they're like hiding them. If you know where to get them, link me below, please. What do you guys call these? I call them woggles. Woggles. They're called noodles, dude. Let me just go get my pool woggle. That's not even, that doesn't flow off the, no, it's a noodle. Noodle or woggle, leave it in the comments. I will literally fight you if you call them a woggle. You know you're Australian when Sydney is not the capital of Australia. The rest of the world, very confused. When people think of Australia, I think they think of a very small island that is just Sydney and pretty much nothing else. No one realizes Australia is pretty much the exact same size as America. Australia is huge. No one overseas seems to know that Canberra is a place. Don't blame them, honestly. Yeah, I like arse. After school snacks. Same. Just to finish this on a note that will piss literally everyone off.
Okay. Oh my god.
Sorry about it. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe. I give shout outs every single video to random people who put the bell on and subscribe, but in the opposite order, obviously. I also give shout outs to people who follow me on Instagram and comment on my photos. Instagram shout outs are coming from this photo and they go to Soft Sherwood, Nora Trinity 7, Yo Soy Pan, Parker Lawrence 99.
We're gonna go ahead and end the video there. I absolutely thoroughly enjoyed that. There were some things that were very American on there as well. But yeah, there was a lot of things that I had never heard of before, and so definitely got to learn a little bit while also being entertained. You guys got a favorite video suggestion? You can subscribe to Patreon or drop it in the comment section. Subscribe to the channel, ring notification bell, get a video a thumbs up so it gets suggested. You got a favorite video suggestion? Or I got social media, Patreon all the time. You know, subscribe to any of it. Put all the links in the description. All you gotta do is hit the link, follow me, talk to me. Love talking to you guys. You guys are the most incredible team on YouTube. It's your boy Neal. Out.